everyone, Fed here, and welcome back to another redstone tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to build a keycard door or ID lock door inside of Minecraft. Now, the last time I built one of these was about 4 years ago, and I like revisiting some of my older builds to revamp them, make them better, and also make them work inside of Bedrock, because that one was made on Xbox One Edition, and that obviously does not work in Bedrock. But if you've ever seen any of my older ones, if you've been around my channel for a long time, I like to just make my key card so you can throw it at the door and open up the door. So here we go. We just throw our key card at the door. It will open up our door. We can go ahead and walk inside. If we go inside this chest right here, our key card's inside of our chest. Click this button and close the door behind us. But when we're ready to leave, we just click the button again and walk on out the door. And of course, if we throw something at it that isn't our item to open up the door, it will keep the door locked. And I also added a little alarm to it. The alarm is optional, but it's a nice little add-on for in case someone puts in the wrong item, then you know someone's trying to get in your house. So if we throw this item at the door, as you can hear, that alarm is going off. Man, that is very annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off real quick. So come over here, click this button, and it will turn off the alarm. And also, any item that goes into it that isn't meant to go inside your door will also funnel inside this chest right here. So you don't have to go into any separate areas. It will always show up inside of this chest. And also, if you want to throw 1,000 key cards at the door, it really doesn't matter. I wouldn't recommend it because then you have to wait for all your key cards to funnel back through. But if I throw all 20 of my key cards at it, it will still open up the door. And no worries, guys, all your key cards will funnel right up inside this chest. So I threw in 20 and we got back 20, and of course click the door. And the same thing with items that don't belong in here. You throw a stack of 64 wood in there, the alarm will go off and they will all funnel inside this chest. So let's go ahead and look at the redstone. It's not too bad. I know it looks a little annoying, but right here is the alarm, which is completely optional. And then right here we just have all the little mechanisms that are making this door work. So let's go ahead and get started up on this build. Alright guys, so for this build you're going to need a 3x11 spacing, and you're also going to have to dig down 4. However, you do have to dig down 5 in just one spot, so giving a heads up now. Also, I recommend just digging out a little bit around it just so you can see all the redstone once you're down there. Also, that red concrete block is the exact location your door is going to be going. Now, the resources you will need for this build are 1 piston, 5 hoppers, 4 droppers, 1 observer block, 3 redstone comparators, 2 redstone repeaters, 3 redstone torches, 10 redstone, 1 button of your choice. We're also going to need a minecart with a hopper, a rail, an iron door, a chest, and also just get out 2 stacks of paper and then name it inside the anvil whatever you'd like. I recommend getting 2 stacks because it's just good to have a couple of extra IDs on hand. You can throw them in your ender chest just in case you lose them. Now, if you want to build the alarm, you're also going to need 2 pistons, 2 observers, 1 redstone comparator, 1 piece of redstone, a button, and 2 bells. All right, guys, so once you've dug out the area and gathered up your resources, come to the bottom left-hand corner, and we're just going to count over 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to count up 1 block, break this block right here, and place a piece of redstone down. Next up, take out your observer blocks and place 1 observer block facing up. Next up, take out your droppers and place 2 droppers facing up, right off of each other. And then facing backwards, right here's our front door, so facing backwards this way, we're going to place a chest down, and that's where all of our items are going to funnel into. Next up, we're going to swing back to the front hand side, and we're going to take out our hoppers. Now, going into this bottom dropper right here, we're going to place in a hopper. And same thing on this side, place a hopper going into the side of this bottom dropper. Then going into the side of the left-hand hopper, we're going to place another hopper going into that one. So you can see that notch is going into this one right here. Then above this one to the right, we're going to place a hopper going into the top of it. And then right above this hopper, we're going to place another hopper going into the side of this one. And that's going to be all of our hoppers completely done. Next up, coming out of this bottom hopper right here that's above our door block, we're going to place a block to the left with a comparator coming out of that hopper. Next up, place a block right in front of that redstone comparator. Swing to the backhand side, place in 2 more blocks with 2 pieces of redstone. The redstone will connect into that comparator. And then place a redstone torch off the side of this block, locking this hopper. Next up, go ahead and take out a stack of your named ID cards. Mine's just going to be FedEx ID. And we're going to go ahead and place a stack of them inside of this hopper that's above this redstone torch. They shouldn't funnel into the dropper because it's locked right now by this redstone torch. Then what I want you to do is just take 4 of any item. It really doesn't matter. And just place 4 items inside of here. It could be dirt, stone, anything. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you fill up these 4 slots with anything. Next up, I want you to take out 22 more of your IDs and go into the hopper next to it that this redstone comparator is coming out of. And go ahead and place in all 22 by first placing 4 at the back and then the other 18 at the front. That should light up this comparator. So now when we throw in just one ID, it will funnel into this dropper. So if you want to go ahead and just test it out right off this top hopper, throw in one ID, the redstone torch will go off, funneling one of our IDs into our dropper. I'll do it one more time. Throw it right at this top one, funnels in, and goes into our dropper. Next up, coming out of this redstone torch right here, we're going to place a redstone repeater. Coming out of it, it should come on. Take out your observer blocks once again and place an observer block coming out of that redstone repeater. The arrow should be facing away from the repeater. Next up, just place a block in front of that observer block. Take out your droppers once again and place a dropper facing up. And then we're going to have to place a dropper facing down. So just come up 2 blocks, break that block, and place a dropper facing down. Go ahead and break this top block. It's no longer needed. Then go inside your bottom dropper right here and place in just one item. It could be any item. It does not matter. Just place in dirt or something. Just place one item in the bottom dropper. Then we're going to come out a block to the right, placing in a redstone comparator. That redstone comparator should come on. Place a block up in front of your redstone comparator with a piece of redstone on top of it. Place a block next to that redstone with a redstone torch. It should go off. Place a block on top of that redstone torch, a block to the side, with a piece of redstone on top of this block next to that off redstone torch. Place another block up with another redstone torch off the side, and that's going to open and close our door. Next up, swing to this side, and off the top dropper right here, we're going to place a block next to it with a piece of redstone on top of it, and then we're going to have to take out a block of choice. You will be able to see this. I'm just going to use some smooth stone right here. And we're going to place a block right above that redstone with our button. And that will open and close our door from the inside. Now, if we go ahead and just throw in one of our key cards, it will actually keep this redstone torch off. So if I throw my item right here, it'll turn off the redstone torch, opening the door, letting us in. So then we can go in. And then, once we have this all hooked up, the item will be inside of here. But then when we click the button, it will turn back on that redstone torch. So now let's go ahead and place in our door. So first things first, before we place in our door, we're going to go ahead and place in a block right above the hopper that our items are going to be going into. Place a block, place down a rail, place your minecart with a hopper, break the block, and let it fall into place. And then you can just go in this bottom dropper and pick up the rail. Oh, and the ID if you went ahead and tested it out. Then right above this minecart with a hopper, we're going to be putting in our door. So first things first, just take out a flooring block for the inside of your house. I'm going to be using dark oak wood planks. And right off the side of that chest, we're just going to place one block. Now you want to place in the block that your door is going to be sitting on. Now for me, I'm going to be using smooth stone. You can go ahead and use whatever you'd like. But we're just going to place that block right next to our minecart with a hopper. Next up, we're going to take out a piston, face it right in towards that minecart with a hopper, and then just send power to the piston, pushing the block over our minecart with a hopper. Now we can go ahead and remove these. They're no longer needed. Next up, we're going to take out our iron trapdoor and make sure you place it in the exact way I'm placing it in. Turn right here towards this redstone torch and place it in right on top of this block. Now, the reason why I set it up like this is so zombies cannot break down the door. Because when it closes, it will actually ID check it as being opened, so then zombies won't break down the door. So you never have to worry about entities breaking your iron door as well. Next up, we're just going to take out our blocks of choice for our door, and we're going to place one right above this redstone torch, and it will close the door. Well, technically the door is open. Right now it's open, and this is the door closed. So that just keeps zombies from breaking down your door. So now if we take out our ID card and we test it out by throwing it at the door, boom, the door opens up. We can walk on in, click the button, and the door will close. So now all we have to do is just hook up our dropper system to push our items up into our chest. So to make our items actually funnel up into our chest right here, we're going to come down here to our bottom dropper that's been collecting all of our items. That's right above our observer block. I'm going to come out a block to the left, placing in a redstone comparator coming out of it. Place in 1, 2, and then up a block. Break this block. It's not needed. And place a redstone repeater going into this block. Then we're going to swing over 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Placing redstone down on all of them. And then place a piece of redstone right down here next to the observer block. It should hook up to the redstone that's underneath it. So we're going to place our block back. Placing a redstone, as you can see, the line is hooking into that redstone that's underneath our observer block. And that's it. The items will now funnel up into this chest. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Throw in our ID card. It will open up the door. We walk inside the house. It should now be inside this chest. Boom, there you have it. It's inside our chest. And now we can go ahead and close the door. And the same thing goes if we throw in an item that doesn't open up our door. So let's go ahead and just throw in our pink concrete. As you can see, the door won't open, but the item will still funnel up into our chest. And that's it, guys. You are completely done. So if you don't want that alarm, all you have to do now is just, clean up the area by placing your blocks of choice around the door. I also recommend putting a flooring block down here, just because you'll be able to see behind that chest when you're inside of your house. And, just clean up the area. But now if you want the alarm, we're going to go ahead and set up the alarm. So to set up the alarm, we're just going to come down here to this bottom hopper. We're going to come out a block with a redstone comparator, like that. We're going to place a piece of redstone now right in front of this comparator down here with a block in front of it. Next up, take out your pistons and place a piston facing up. Take out your observer block and make sure the arrow on top of the observer block is facing towards that redstone comparator. Then we're going to come up with a block right above this observer block and place another observer block right here. Make sure the arrow is facing away from this one. Both the arrows should be facing away from each other. Next up, just place up another block right here with a bell off the side, and then place another bell off the side of this observer block. So if I go ahead and throw an item in there right now, the alarm will go off, but we'll have no way of turning it off right now. So first things first, just come up another block right here, place a piston facing down like that, take your walling block out, place it right above that piston, and then place a button on the inside. That way we can turn it off. So let's go ahead and now throw an item at it that does not belong, and it will set off our alarm. And there we go. And that is very, very annoying because it's supposed to be, it's an alarm. So let's go ahead and turn off the alarm. Now you are absolutely 100% completely done. So, now we just have to clean up the area, fill in this hole, and make everything look nice. All right, guys, and I'm back. I just went ahead and cleaned up the area. So, we just throw our ID at the door. It will open it up. We can go ahead and walk inside. Take our ID out of here. I never took out that pink concrete. And then, of course, click the button to close it up. And then when we're ready to leave, click the button again and walk on out. And, of course, if we throw the wrong item in there, it will not work. The alarm will go off. Oh, my goodness. Let me go ahead and turn that off real quick. But boom. As you see, the door did not open up. And also, you could just, if you really want to throw in 42 key cards in there, you could throw them all in there. It will still open the door and still funnel the items inside. Same thing with items that don't belong as well, but I'm not going to do that because then you're going to have to wait for all the items to funnel through before you could turn that alarm off. But we can go ahead and, collect the items once they all come back through and click the button to close the door. But there you guys have it. That's how you build a keycard door inside of Minecraft. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned with my newest videos. All right, guys. Boop. Peace.